Hey everybody, it's Dan Riley, the principal of Marlborough High School. I'm here today to follow up on something that I mentioned to parents as a part of our series of student and parent forums, which were hosted a few weeks before the school year is getting underway. So we're here to talk about safety today. We're going to talk about school safety, and I'm going to give you some glimpses of the new school environment that you're going to be seeing when you come back to Marlborough High School beginning on September 21st. Before we have this discussion about safety at Marlborough High School, one of the things I want to remind everybody is the first line of defense in the prevention of the spread of COVID-19 is staying home if you are sick. If you do not feel well, then staying home is your best option to preventing the spread of COVID-19 at the school. While temperature checking at home is obviously not something that we're mandating, it is something that we are strongly recommending. Families should consider getting into the routine of having their temperature checked before they leave the house. Sometimes you could have a mild fever and not even know it until you've already gotten on the school bus or your parents already dropped you off at school. Now we're going to get into some of the details around the steps that we've taken to make Marlborough High School a safer place for your return and some of the things that we'd like you to help us with as you return to school. So what we want to talk about first is student drop-off. We've had a number of questions around this. So student drop-off is still going to look the same as it has in past years with a couple of changes. First, let's talk about the front main entrance of the school. That is still going to be our main drop-off point for school buses only. We're asking parents and students not to access that front loop as we always have. Parent drop-off is still going to take place in the back part of the school. In addition to parent drop-off, we'll also still have the student parking spaces available in the back part of Marlborough High School. Administrators will be controlling the flow of traffic coming off of school buses and also monitoring and controlling parent drop-off and when students that are driving to school campus in their own vehicle get out of their cars to come into the school. As you enter the school, you're going to notice a lot of additional signage. Signage pertaining to social distancing will be marked out on the floor that show you where a 6-foot radius is from you and potentially someone in front of you. In addition to that, we also have arrows that are going to help us direct traffic. The arrows are going to help us keep traffic to the right-hand side of the hallways. In addition to that, some stairwells will only move in one direction. Again, all of these changes is to help us control the flow of traffic and help keep you, the students and our staff, socially distanced as you move throughout the building during the day. As you make your way into the building, we're going to ask that you go directly to your first block classroom. We do not want you to stop and congregate with other classmates in the hallways. We want to prevent you from getting into close contact with one another, and one of the ways that we're going to do that is to ensure that you can enter the building socially distanced and head right to your classrooms. You'll notice when you enter those classrooms that we have taken measures to spread those classrooms out so that you can be socially distanced from your classmates while you sit in classes at Marlborough High School. In addition, I also want to mention that we will not be using student lockers this year. We want to reduce contact throughout the school on surfaces as much as possible. So lockers will not be used. Students will bring their supplies in and out of the building with them each day. Certain areas throughout the building will also be restricted for use. Certain hallways will not be used. The drinking fountains will not be used. The bottle fill-up stations for water bottles will still be in use. You'll also notice that restrooms will be socially distanced as well. We have capacity limitations on restrooms, and we've also tried to separate out the use of the facilities within the restrooms themselves. We ask that you respect these restrictions in order to help us keep Marlborough High School a safe place for everyone. As a reminder of some of the things that we discussed during our parent forums over the last few weeks, we will not be having breakfast and lunch eaten on school property at Marlborough High School. And so I know what you're thinking. I'm thinking you're going to be hungry. I get hungry by 11 o'clock as well. However, we are going to be providing students with a snack. We're going to be providing them with a snack and a snack break. So we have socially distanced areas in the school that have been identified for mask and snack breaks. And we'll be using those areas on a daily basis to provide students with a break during the school day. As students leave for the day, those who access food through the school's lunch program will be provided with lunch and breakfast for the next morning. The next thing I want to talk about is what we call the big three. the big three prevention strategies when it comes to the spread of the COVID-19 virus. First, let's discuss wearing a mask. Wearing a mask is essential and it is a mandated part of the school day. I'm going to demonstrate now what a mask looks like when it properly fits to keep both yourself and others safe while you wear it. So here, I'm sporting my Visit Marlborough mask. You can see that the loops go securely around my ears and the mask is snug and fit to my face. And it is recommended that we have masks that have multiple layers of fabric to prevent the spread of droplets from our mouths. And just to clarify, masks are the required and mandated form of face covering at Marlborough High School. You will see other forms of face coverings out in the community, bandanas, gaiters. Those are not authorized. Those will not be allowed. It must be a mask. The second of the big three that I want to talk about is social distancing itself. We will have this laid out for you throughout the building. We ask that you adhere to that. This is one of the strategies that's going to help keep us all safe. Mask wearing and social distancing together can help us prevent the spread of COVID-19 at Marlborough High School. And of course, the last of the big three that I want to discuss is frequent hand washing and hand sanitizing. You will notice that we have set up a number of touchless hand sanitization stations throughout Marlborough High School. There are almost 50 stations that have been set up throughout our hallways and our general use areas. According to the CDC, frequent hand washing saves lives. So again, we're asking for your help to keep Marlborough High School safe by adhering to all three of these things on a consistent, ongoing basis. As I mentioned earlier in this presentation, we all need to be super diligent about not coming to school when we are sick. However, there is that question of what happens when someone is sick and they are in school. If a teacher is sick and in school, that teacher is going to safely isolate themselves before leaving school property. Communication will go through the nurse and administration to make sure that we know that one of our teachers has been sick on school property and then has left school property safely. If a student is sick at Marlborough High School, then we will contact the nurse. The nurse will come and have the student leave with them from the classroom. They will bring them down to the nurse office area, and then they will check them for COVID-19 symptoms. If the nurse concludes that the student is presenting with COVID-19 symptoms, then that student will be isolated in an area that we have designated for that purpose. The parent or guardian of that student will then be contacted and will be asking for that parent or guardian to then take that student home from the campus of Marlborough High School. As a follow-up, the administrator on campus that's going to be overseeing COVID-19 related cases will be contacting the family and asking that that student go and get a COVID-19 test. The results of that test will then follow a protocol that either helps the student return to school as quickly as possible if the test is negative, or goes through a quarantine stage if the test is positive. Either way, please know that we will work with your family to help support your student in their access to their academics and education while they go through that protocol. I want to end by saying these are very stressful and uncertain times that we're all living in. Please know that we are so excited to see your students in the next couple weeks when they return to school. We are here for you, we're here to support you, and we look forward to seeing you. Please reach out to us if you need support with anything as we get back into school on September 21st. Thank you.